I don't care what y'all say, and y'all can miss me with that body positivity mess. Don't nobody want to be fat, okay? Now I know skinny don't automatically equal healthy, but we know for damn sure fat ain't healthy. Do something about it. Drop down in the comments and purchase these fine products to jumpstart your weight loss journey. Child, ever since I done slipped up and told y'all in my Andrew Gillum video that I went to school and know Matt Gaetz, y'all been on my head about talking about Representative Matt Gaetz and this sex scandal stuff that's going on all in the news. So I guess I'm here to talk about it. Want to talk about it? Here it goes. Now, so girl, you know, it's supposed to be a proud thing when you see people that you went to college with and spent a lot of intimate time with and intimate close quarters with become famous and be doing powerful things and everybody in the US knows their name. Like there's a certain level of something that makes you feel a little special. But this happens to not be the case with Senator Matt Gaetz. I think he's a senator, y'all. Senator, representative, whatever it is. Forgive me, I didn't pay attention in civics class and I rarely watch the news. So I was sitting in my bed today and I was going through one of my posts when I asked y'all, what do you want me to talk about? And I kept saying, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz. And I said, you know what? Today would be a good day to talk about Matt Gaetz. The first thing that I want to address though is that I saw on a lot of my other YouTube videos, people were saying things like, oh, you talked about Andrew Gillum. You talked about Andrew Gillum when he was going through his thing, but you don't want to talk about Matt Gaetz or whatever. You always find a way to fuck over black people and all this, but you don't want to talk as if I'm some white people's bed witch or whatever. I have explained this to y'all, and I'm going to explain it again. I talk about the things that interest me, all right? I talk about the things that are in my wheelhouse. I talk about the things that are in my world. I talk about the things that I indulge in. I don't indulge in white people. I don't indulge in white people politics. I don't follow white celebrities. I don't watch white reality TV shows. So when I make comments about the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Married to Medicine Girls, and then y'all come with, when the Beverly Hills ones do this, and if the New York ones, I don't know what the fuck the New York ones and the Beverly Hills ones do, because I don't watch those bitches. Quite frankly, I find a lot of white pop culture to be boring. I don't listen to their music. I don't watch Friends. I don't watch, How I Met Your Mother, Third Rock from the Sun. I don't indulge in any of that stuff. Y'all, I am too lazy to have an agenda. All right? I'm a very simple creature if you know me. So when it comes to me talking about Andrew stuff versus Matt's, you're going to find by the time I finish this video that I'm not even well versed in his stuff because I don't care. But the Andrew Gillum situation naturally fascinated me. And that's that on that. So Matt Gaetz, the people got him all to the internet, child, saying that he playing all in between people's legs and in their butt, and that some of their ass may have been underage, that it may have been some ecstasy involved, and that, there's this rumor swirling around that Hester, the boy that he's passing off as his son, the people want to know, was he sleeping with him, playing in between his legs and in his butt? Here's what I know. I ain't never known Matt Gaetz to be gay. Let me turn my fan on because it's about to get hot in here. I ain't never known Matt Gaetz to be gay. So I don't know if he playing in Lester or Hester in between his legs and in his butt. Okay? I don't know. The Matt Gaetz that I know was grossly inappropriate in the name of comedy. All right? So let me tell you how I know Matt. Me and Matt, we were in SGA together. I was at Florida State University from the years of 2001 through 2005. And Matt, believe it or not, at that time, was the white boy who hung out with the alphas, Alpha Phi Alpha, my fraternity, hung out with the alphas, and was like the cool, accepted white boy that would be at all the black people parties and functions, all right? Now, during that time, if you would have asked me while we were in college if Matt Gaetz was racist or prejudiced or any word you want to use, my honest response is no. Matt was our friend. He was the cool, funny white boy. Okay? Now, if you would have asked me, do I believe that Matt's parents and family was racist? The answer to that question, and I ain't never met them damn people, but the answer to that question is probably yes, because that was the damn makeup of most of the damn white students at Florida State University at that time who were from North and Central Florida. The children were progressive, but their parents were still from another generation and from, you know, rural ass Florida and Central Florida. So, did Matt tell jokes in college that skirted on, all right, Matt, you taking it too far. You might be cool with us, but you not that cool. Absolutely. That actually was his calling card. That was the thing he did most or whatever, and that's what made him mad. Like, I'm laughing at this shit now because I know I'm gonna get some phone calls from some of my closest friends that were in SGA with me about this video, and we gonna sit on the phone and laugh. That's what made Matt mad. Now, here's what's funny. After I graduated school, right, everybody goes their separate ways. Matt goes to law school. Some people go to grad school. Life takes off. There literally was like I don't know, when would y'all say that y'all learned the name Matt Gaetz? I graduated in 2005. I want to say there was a solid 7, 8, 9 years that went by. Hell, I didn't know if Matt was a damn lawyer or a school teacher because I hadn't heard anything. And then, bam, all of a sudden, Matt Gaetz pops up on TV and he's in government. So I remember the first time seeing him on TV, I'm like, oh, wow, Matt's doing really good for himself. Good for my old friend. Then as time progresses, and I'm looking at the TV and hearing the shit that's coming out his damn mouth, and then it was really during this Trump stuff, I was like, wow. Yeah, this is not the kid I used to drink with. Now, Matt was always an asshole. Matt always went against the grain. Matt always was an agitator and an antagonist. I just thought perhaps because he was an odd-shaped, not so attractive, country-ass white boy, or whatever the case may be, who has a certain level of insecurity, so he got off on aggravating people. That's honestly what I thought. But I never would have thought that the person I went to school with and hung out with is the person that we see today. Or whatever. You know, now that I think back at it, I can remember chatter about Matt's dad being a politician of a certain area in Florida, and not necessarily being like the most honest or scrupulous politician. I vaguely remember conversations like that. I also remember conversations about Matt's dad being rich or whatever. And I think Matt's dad was in school board government or something to that effect, if my memory serves me correct. But nevertheless, honey, it looked like Matt Gaetz done fucked up the thing. And they about to find his ass behind gates. Okay, that's going to be the gates of the damn federal prison if this shit come out about him fooling around with this girl and she was a damn minor. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to lie to you. I believe it. I believe every single word. I believe every single word. And listen to me carefully. It's not because, oh, you know, he's got some tendency in his past, or he's got a track record, or he gives off those types of vibes. I believe it for reasons that are completely outside of Matt. I believe it because this is the shit people do in Matt's position. This is what these rich politicians, these entitled politicians do. This is what these conservative posing people do. You know, I want HBO Max. You know how they do the documentaries, how they go in to the Amish communities and to the Hasidic Jew communities and to these various communities, and they, you know, reveal the nasty, dark underbelly of what's truly going on in these communities. I want somebody to crack into the conservative Republican community and really expose what the hell be going on, because the thing that baffles me the most is that these people position themselves to be so morally superior and so right and so this and so that, but you over here doing ecstasy, laying it low and spreading it wide all night long, all night, in the words of Lionel Richie, all night long, all night. Okay? Don't judge me from my past because I don't live there anymore. But anybody who don't fucked on ecstasy, okay, bitch, you laying up and screwing all night long, all between your ass and in your butt. You doing that Jocelyn Hernandez, we have love sex, dirty sex, every sex. But when you high on that ecstasy, when you high on that ecstasy, your booty hole be hurt for about 2 weeks straight, bitch, because you be having superpowers in that damn bedroom. Child, by the time you come down off that high, you don't know what all and who all the hell don't play in between your legs and in your butt, okay? Now, I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I heard. But you supposed to be so, you know, conservative and so together and so about values and so about this, that, and the third, honey. And what part of the values is ecstasy and underage sex? Again, I'm disappointed. You know, I'd be curious, and I'm gonna tell y'all about it when I have some later conversations today with some of my friends that were even closer to Matt and worked in even closer proximity with him than I did, if they ever saw this for him. I didn't. Now, did I see a manipulative person who would go above and beyond to get their way or rig things or push their agenda? Absolutely. Very quick story. And you know what? I never even told this story to the people that it involved because it would hurt somebody's feelings at the time. I can tell it now because we are so far removed from the situation. So there was a situation where me and we were part of the Black Student Union, the BSU, And typically the way it went at Florida State University at the time that I was there, you come in as a freshman, you participate in the BSU, you matriculate into a e-board position, you go on to then become Greek or whatever the case may be, you graduate and live happily ever after. There became a time where there was a gap in between available Greeks left on the campus and who would be the next president, vice president of the BSU. And so me and my best friend Donnie, we were very active in the BSU at the time, and we were not Greek or whatever, and everybody was telling us, y'all are too young to be president, vice president of BSU. Y'all gotta run with somebody Greek. Y'all gotta run with somebody Greek, or whatever the case may be. And so our friend, who we were close to and served on E-board, she was older than us. Our friend Rabbi, she was a Delta, or whatever the case may be. And quite frankly, and I'm telling this now because it's all these years later, campus politics really don't matter. But there was a lot of people, elders, Greek people, that did not want us to run with Rabbi. As far as they were concerned, she was the default pick. Okay, the alphas felt that way. A lot of people on campus felt that way. A lot of people didn't like Rabbi for whatever reason, thought she had attitude for whatever reason. I will never forget, I was in my apartment, Royal Pavilion on Call Street, and when word got out that me and Donnie were preparing a ticket to run with Rabbi, Matt Gaetz came to my house in my living room and handed me $100 bill in an attempt to get me to not run with Rabbi, for us to ditch Rabbi. He came and he spoke about all these reasons why she was not a good fit and the campus doesn't want her and this is not good for the campus ecosystem and yada 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 yada, and tried to offer me a $100 bill. And you know what? I was so fucking insulted. I was insulted, number one, because this is my friend. Like how dare you? And again, this was another prime example of Matt overstepping boundaries. That's number one. Number two, what did you honestly think of me that I would be easily swayed by a $100 bill? Now, I don't know if y'all girls heard about me, but bitch, when I was back in college, I had all the motherfucking fashions, bitch. I kept on $300 worth of clothes. So what the fuck was I gonna do with a $100 bill? Now, bitch, had you showed up in there with 1,000, bitch, the election might have went another damn way. But $100, that was nothing for me, bitch. I had financial aid money and I kept a job. Bitch, quiet as it's kept, I had more money in my pocket in college than I do now, if you really want to know the real tea. So I don't know, you know what, but that was the first time that I got a glimpse into how treacherous he could potentially be. And then I remember at that time thinking back to what was said about his parents and politics, and honestly and truthfully, I just wrote it all off to, this is how he has seen business work in his world. You know what I'm saying? And I don't come from that world, and I left it at that. And you know what's so funny? I don't even know, I'm not even sure right now if the people whose name I call in this video even know this story. They do now. Nevertheless, that happened. So I say all that to say, y'all, you know, y'all wanted me to talk about the Matt Gaetz situation, and I can basically only talk about my history with him when we were in school and give y'all some stories, because I don't follow that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care. And after I saw Matt with all this Trump stuff, and then two, after he had the nerve to not read the room and email me after my Andrew Gillum video laughing, I kind of like was done with the possibility of there ever being any type of like powwow, camaraderie, brotherhood, classmatehood, or anything with Matt Gaetz. As far as I'm concerned, Matt Gaetz is just someone that I used to know. Nevertheless, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. If you're new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll call y'all hoes later. Bye.